Good evening, everyone. How is everyone? You should all be able to hear me. Let me turn this down a little bit. Hi. Hi, it's October. It's October. I'm going to wait a few minutes for everyone to jump on. I know I just posted a video like an hour ago. I was coming home from an estimate myself. I had a bunch of estimates today. A bunch of estimates. How is everyone? I will wait a few minutes for people to get on. So I look at my phone, just so you know, I look at my phone so I can see everyone that jumps on. When you jump on, please say hi. Let's put this in the chat here. Please say hi and let me know if you can hear me. There you go. Please say hi. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm still waiting to get my second monitor. Okay, it looks like it is up. So I see one comment here.
Good evening, everyone.
And that's my own comment. So I see two people on here. I wait a few minutes for people to get on here. And I wait. So it looks like there is 3 people on here. So how is everyone? How is everyone today? How is everyone on your beautiful Wednesday? Tonight we're going to be talking about what is draining your cleaning business. Those 5, I've identified 5 big profit killers that could potentially close your doors in 2026. I don't say that lightly. I say it because it's true, right? My name is Cheryl Hager. Those of you that don't know me, I'm a cleaning business coach. I'm also an owner of my own made company. I am still the CEO and I'm active in it. I am from the Boston, Massachusetts area, if you cannot hear the accent yet. I'm a northern girl and I help cleaning business owners that struggle. I help them in a few different ways. I help you learn how to sell, how to position your company, branding wise, you can attract, high paying clients. I teach you how to hire, how to interview, and how to scale your businesses, right? I took my own business. I was a solo cleaner, working for cash, just like a lot of you, right? And I scaled my company fairly quickly. I took it from $0 without I didn't have any money thrown at me. I was a single mother, and today it's over, well over 800,000 a year, and it's still growing as well. It looks like we have 3 people on here, 4 people on here. So as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know where you're from. So I help owners do what I struggled with as I was, growing my own cleaning business. I love what I do. I'm obsessed with creating your success stories. I love you all. You guys impress me every single day, right? You impress me every single day with your resilience and with your willingness to go the extra mile and keep pushing through. And I love sharing everyone's success stories. You will see that. You'll see them in the group. And I post them because I am just so incredibly proud of all of you, the people that I work with. And I graciously thank you for trusting me to help you grow your cleaning business. Doubling, tripling, even in some instances quadrupling their monthly revenues, right? Learning how to hire teams, learning how to get out of the field. What does that mean? Stop freaking cleaning, right? Everyone who here is sick of cleaning in their cleaning business, raise your hand and say sick of cleaning in your cleaning business. If you are sick of cleaning in your cleaning business, raise your hand and say I am. Just say sick of cleaning, and I will scroll through in a little bit. For those of you that are new to the group, I did tag some people in the training. I go live every single Wednesday Eastern Standard Time. These trainings are recorded. You can catch the replay. They're popped up on my YouTube page because Facebook doesn't save them anymore. And I'm working on something super exciting, but it won't be ready for a few months. Sorry, can't tell you. My goal is to always give you as much value as I possibly can. That's why I'm constantly working to make your experience in the Sisters Who Scale group even better every single day. Okay. All right. Who's on? Who is on? Let's see. If you're on, say hi. Hi, Jessica, Tammy. Hi, Kim. How are you? Belinda, Brenda. Hey, Brenda. Brenda's brand new. Kim Manning, sick of cleaning. Amen, sister, right? Amen with that. Amen with that. Okay, so everyone's business here is on borrowed time, right? So right now, as you're watching this and you're listening to me, your cleaning business might be dying and you don't even know it. Not quickly, not dramatically, but slowly, silently, but most certainly, right? 87% of cleaning businesses fail within the first 5 years. 87%. Not because their owners didn't work hard. All right? I know how hard you all work. Not because they couldn't clean well. I know you can all clean well, right? They failed because of these five silent killers I have identified as being the biggest ones that crept up unnoticed. It drained your profits, it drained your bank account, and you ultimately had to close your doors because you weren't making any money, right? So the truth is that these killers are already in your business right now while you're, mopping floors and chasing payments. We all know we're chasing payments sometimes, right? These five invisible assassins, as I will call them, are systematically dismantling everything you've built or trying to build. But the good news is you still have time, but that window is closing if you don't identify them quick. The longer they go on, the worse you are, right? Okay, so let's talk about what they are. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, please write these down. We need to see, and we're going to identify, and if anyone wants to raise their hand and say where they're at, we're going to identify which side you're going to be on. You're going to keep your business in 2026. You're going to look for another job. Hopefully you're not going to look for another job because that sucks. Nobody wants to have another job. Once you've had a little freedom owning your own business, you never want to have a job again. You never want to work for someone else, right? And that's the goal. All right, silent killer number one, ladies. I'm going to just rip the Band-Aid off with this one. Thinking you know it all, right? Had an experience with this. Thinking you know it all. Nobody knows it all, right? This is a fatal mindset. You all started your cleaning businesses because you knew how to clean. Awesome. You thought, how hard could running a business be? Nail in the coffin, right? Thinking like that is a death sentence, right? Being great at cleaning or knowing how to put together a few operational documents doesn't mean you know how to run a cleaning business, right? Square up. These are completely different skill sets. One involves mops, one involves chat GBTing a bunch of pieces of paper, don't mean shit, and chemicals, right? I'm just gonna tell like it is. That's what people say that I'm famous for, so I'm gonna tell like it is. Just because you think you know how to do a couple things doesn't mean you know how to run a cleaning business. Okay, so the I know it all mentality creates a dangerous blind spot for people. Why? Because you stop learning. Right? You dismiss advice. Say, oh, I already know that. Or you reject a new method because that's not how we do things. Right? Meanwhile, your competitors are evolving. You're stealing your clients. The industry is changing every single day. It's changing very dramatically. It's changed very dramatically in the last 3 years. Customer expectations have skyrocketed. The competition is as stiff as ever, and there's people out there doing it cheaper than you. You better have your shit together, right? So technology is transforming operations. AI, right? So there's so many AI apps and everything, right? You have to figure that out, right? So if you're running your business the same way you did even 2 years ago, even 1 year ago, right? Fast, 1 year ago, you're already behind. So I'm going to call this the 2026 reckoning. So by mid 2026, which is in probably 8 months, right? The gap between business owners who stay current and those who don't is going to be big. It's going to become a canyon. Clients are going to demand efficiencies that you can't provide. Why? Because you thought you knew it all, right? I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying in general, right? Your way is going to become obsolete. Your clients will vanish. They will go with companies that have AI, have technology, have great, management skills with managing people. Managing cleaners is so much different than managing any other type of employee. So different, so different. Back a few years back in my day when I was up and coming, I guess you could say, and really, rapidly, growing, we hired 27 people in 1 year. Yeah, we kept 2. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what will. That's a lot of energy, right? That's a lot of energy. A ton of energy. So how do you fix this? And how do you stop thinking that you know it all? Some cleaning business owners never stop learning. They read books, they attend conferences, they listen to podcasts, they hire coaches, they study other industries to bring fresh ideas back, right? So here's what you need to look at as a CEO. You need to have action steps in your business. So, for example, if you invested 5% of your revenue back into your education, right? Read a book per month, find a mentor who's already built what you're trying to build, who's on the cutting edge, who you vibe with. It's very important to vibe, right? Very important to vibe. The moment you think you know it all is the moment your business starts dying, right? Let me see. Who was on here? Let me see the comments. Let me see. Belinda just went and picked up a check. Victoria, how are you, honey? I meant to send you a text. I know you're going through some stuff right now. Silent business killer number 2. You don't know your numbers. How many people don't know their numbers? Say don't know numbers. Text in the box. I don't know my numbers. It's okay, because if you don't know your numbers, maybe I can help you, okay? This is flying blind, right? Flying blind. So do any of you on this call tonight actually know, or if you're watching this on replay, actually know what your profit margins were last month? Do you know? Do you know what the profit margins were? Not the gross, right? Not the gross, not the payroll. What were your actual profit margins after your loaded labor, okay, which is your payroll, taxes and insurance included, and your hard costs, things like office supplies, gas supplies, car payments, general insurance, workers' comp, those are usually fixed costs. Do you know what your the company's profit margin was for the month of September, right? Do you know, here's the second one, do you know your customer acquisition costs? How much it costs you if you're running ads, how much it costs you to get them as a client? Do you know how much? I don't know. If you do, please put in the comments, say, I know my profit margins. That would be amazing. Do you know which services are actually more profitable than others in your company? If you're doing reoccurring, if you're doing commercial, if you're doing Airbnb, do you know which ones are making more money, right? Also, do you know how much cash you need for 90 days of operations? But no one knows that, right? Yeah, it's a tough one. These are all money questions, right? So if you can answer at least 3 of those immediately, or have that number close to you, if you couldn't, rather, right? If you could not answer 3 of those questions or have those numbers near you, you could be in danger, right? Your business could be in danger. Why? Because the numbers don't lie. I hate to say that. The numbers don't lie. Most cleaning business owners operate on vibe-based accounting. What do I mean by that? Vibe-based accounting. Things feel okay. Money seems to be coming in. There's some money in the bank account, right? So you think you're profitable. So you say, fuck it. I'm not going to look at it, right? But feelings aren't facts. You need the facts. So here's what's actually happening or could be happening. You're working 60-hour weeks. Your team is busy. All right, cool. Clients are paying, even better. But you're still going broke. Why? Because you don't know which clients are profitable, which services are draining your resources, or how much you need to charge to thrive. You don't know your numbers, right? This isn't a minor problem. This is a terminal disease. I'm not saying this to scare all of you. I'm saying this so I can protect you, so you can be in the know, so you can make it. Because like I said, 87% of cleaning businesses close their doors in the first 5 years. That's a big number, right? You don't want to be there. There's economic pressures all the time, intensifying. Government shutdown. You don't know how many of your clients have government jobs. They could be losing their jobs, getting furloughed, laid off, whatever. That's just one example, right? That's just one example. One example, labor costs are rising. They're all rising in 2026. That's another problem you have. So you need to balance that, right? So the potential catastrophe that can happen are these things, right? There's not going to be any room for error. Businesses that don't know their numbers will make bad pricing decisions, take on unprofitable work, right? You can take on unprofitable work all the time. Run out of cash at critical moments, like not making payroll, right? Big deal. And you're going to have to close your doors and go get a job, go work for someone else. That sucks, right? So you can't manage what you don't measure. Everything has to be measurable in your business, right? And right now, if you're not measuring the things that matters, you could have a sinking ship, right? A sinking ship. So how do we fix this? How do we fix this? Do a weekly number check-in, right? Monday morning, review your key metrics, or Friday in the afternoon, right? Review your revenues, your expenses, figure out your profit margins, cash on hand, and job profitability. Individual job profitability. Right. If you don't have the software to do it, you need to figure it out manually. It can be done, but it's going to be harder, right? You have to stop using spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are old. Spreadsheets are from the 90s, right? Exactly. So what's also important is to know your break even, right? Calculate exactly how much revenue you need each month to keep the lights on, so to speak, right? And pay yourself something. You need to pay yourself some type of salary, whether you're an S corp and you pay yourself a salary, or whether you take a draw, right, as an LLC. You have to get paid. Have to get paid. Track everything. So every job should be tracked for profitability. How much did you charge? How much labor did it cost you? You're going to figure out how much labor it's costing you to do each job, right? How long are they taking in a house? These are things that will just screw your business if you don't know how to do them, right? So how much does it cost for supplies for each house? Break it down into like micro, like that, right? Having this data on hand is going to transform your business. Okay, that was number 2. Is this making sense here? I see everyone looking, and it's hard for me to see everything without you guys hearing this. So April, that's it. I don't know my numbers. I know, April, you don't know your numbers. I know. Can get QuickBooks. It does the math for you. But a lot of people have had bad luck with QuickBooks, Shauna. They're saying it doesn't, I hate it, but they're saying that it doesn't, it's all screwy. Like, it'll give them double the numbers and stuff like that, right? That's what I've heard. I don't know, because like I said, I don't use it because I don't like it. Silent killer number 3. No systems in place. No systems in place. I talk about this all the time. If you disappeared in your business for 30 days with no phone, no email, would your business still run smoothly? Or is it the you show? Right? If your answer is no, you don't have a business, you have an exhausting job you can never leave. Right? Exhausting job you can never leave. So when you don't have systems, and I see this all the time, this is one of the biggest things I teach and drop them off, right? What do no systems look like in your business? So different employees do the same job differently. They're all cleaning differently. Quality's inconsistent. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Training takes forever. You can no longer train someone in a week, right? Because nothing is documented, right? You're constantly putting out fires. People aren't getting along with each other, and you are the bottleneck for every single decision. You have to change that. You have to change that. You don't want to have that much information in your head all the time. So this chaos includes redo work from inconsistent quality. You got to go out and fix something. Lost time from constant interruptions, employee turnover from poor training, loss of clients, so you got to reduce staff, stuff like that. And that's burning you out. All that stuff, that constant influx of information is burning you out. All right? How many people have felt burnt out from this before? I bet a lot. So The labor shortage isn't getting any better. By 2026, finding and keeping good employees is always gets harder because there's more jobs, right? You have to raise your prices on your clients because you got to raise your prices on your staff. You got to raise them every single year. So you need to know how much you can afford to pay them, right? You need to know all that stuff. So if your business depends on you to be the system, you're done. You can't scale. You can't grow. You can't even take a vacation, right? That sucks. Meanwhile, your competitor is hiring your employees, right? Delivering consistent quality, scaling, opening up a second location maybe, and selling their businesses for life-changing money while you're still trapped cleaning, all right? So how do we fix this? You need documents, right? You need documents. Step-by-step checklists for every job type, every client interaction, every internal process. Because if someone does something more than twice, it needs a system, right? If there's a mistake more than a few times, it needs a system. So things like standing operated procedures, writing down exactly how things should be done in your company, cleaning protocols, supply ordering, customer communication, who's doing what, billing, quality checks. There's so much in this business. You know, if you have 20, 30 clients, it's pretty easy, right? Multiply that times 3, you got 90 clients. Not easy. You got so many people coming at you all the time, right? And if you don't have any systems in place for who's handling what, you're the person that's handling everything, and all of a sudden you're working 70 hours a week, and your husband or your boyfriend or, you know, whatever girlfriend is looking at you, and you're just like, oh my God, I have no time. You have no time for your kids, no time for your significant other. And then you start to hate what you do. And you can't have that, because if you did everything right, you'd have a really nice business. You would like it. Your days would be free, right? Your days would be free. Creating your training systems. New employees should follow your documented systems. How to train, right? How to train, how to clean. It should take them days to learn this, not weeks. It shouldn't take them 3 months to learn how to do this, okay? And then, of course, you have to implement some type of quality control, right? Random inspections, using standardized checklists, client feedback after every job, regular team reviews, right? Systems are going to be the difference between owning a business and being owned by a business. Is this making sense? Is this making sense, everyone? Moving on to number 4. Silent killer number 4. You don't know how to manage people, and that's okay. You can learn, right? You're dealing with employees who show up late, do crappy work, create drama within the teams, and quit without notice, right? How many? It's happened to me. It doesn't happen much anymore, but it happened for a while. Well, I figured it out, right? It's hard to find good people sometimes, right? If you think it's hard to find good people, you won't find good people, right? Right, exactly. So sometimes the problem is the way we think. If we think negatively, like a perfect saying would be, oh, nobody wants to work, right? So you're putting that negative thought into the world, right? Into the universe, and you're saying nobody wants to work. Okay, so the universe is going to give you back people that don't want to work, right? If you say, oh my God, there's so many people out there that want to work for me because I'm an awesome boss and it's a great job to clean here when you have awesome clients, you will get better people. I know it sounds silly, but you got to trust me on this, right? You might have a people problem, right? You might have a problem because you're giving out the wrong information to the universe, and it's bringing you back what you're muttering out, right? So the thing of it is that most cleaning business owners in the beginning are terrible managers. They're terrible. They're terrible, not because they're bad people, not because they don't want to do good, because they've never been taught how to lead, right? They avoid difficult conversations. Who here has avoided a difficult conversation? Say difficult conversation, right? Who here has avoided that? They don't set clear expectations. You tolerate mediocrity. You tolerate being talked back to because you just want to cover the schedule. You tolerate the chaos. in the crisis. Just because you haven't learned to lead yet doesn't mean you can't learn how to lead. Everyone can learn how to lead. You just have to have enough guts to do it, and you need to have enough patience to do it, right? So when this stuff happens, you have high turnover. I had 27 people in 1 year. That's horrendous. I have no problem admitting it because I admitted it, I accepted it, and I fixed it, right? I fixed it. Now, maybe in the course of a year, I might have 5, right? Low. Very, very low. That's very, very low, right? So it's going to cause low morale. People are going to be like, oh, this lady doesn't know how to lead. We're not going to work for her. It's going to make them feel not confident in your abilities to be a leader. If there's constant drama around, right? If the teams aren't doing what they're supposed to do, if they're not filling their caddies properly and they're missing supplies when they're out in the field and stuff like that, right? And you're slowly losing your mind, right? So in 2026, employees are going to have more options, and they don't want poor management, right? They want to work for a business that can attract, develop, and retain great people. They want to work around a great group of people. No matter if you're working at Dunkin' Donuts or for a law firm or for a cleaning company, they want to be around good people, right? Or else you're stuck, right? You're stuck, and your competition next door is learning how to lead, is investing in their business, is taking that class, right? Who knows? Is hiring a coach, and because their goal is to crush you. So it's either you're going to crush them or they're going to crush you. Pick one. I want to crush them, right? We all want to crush them. We all want to crush them. So how do we fix this? You have to set crystal clear expectations. Every person should know exactly what's expected that you hire, what success looks like at your company, and how they will be measured, meaning how they will, what do I mean by that? I mean, their success is going to be measured by a certain level of parameters that they must perform is what I mean, right? So communicating constantly with them. I do one-on-ones with new people for the first 30 days, right? Every single week I ask them something different. They come in my office, they sit, we talk, right? Regular meetings, open door communication all the time. If you see someone that could potentially be a rock star, you give them all your attention. All your attention. Why? Because they're going to save you from being the end all be all for your whole entire cleaning business. They're going to give you a break. If you train them correctly, they're going to give you a break. They're going to go out and clean those houses so you can take the day off or do something else in your business, right? Exactly. Holding people accountable, right? Enforce standards consistently. Document issues that happen. Have those difficult conversations that you don't want to have, right? Remove people who don't meet your standards. I have one now. I'm removing. Does not meet the Made Bright standard, right? Keeping low performers punishes the high performers, and the high performers go work somewhere else. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So you want to create a culture of intention. What does that mean? Your culture is what you tolerate, right? So you have to define your values, live your values, talk about your values, enforce your values, have the people that work for you believe in the values and carry out those same values. And you have to celebrate people who embody them, right? Remove people that violate the values. Remove people that don't vibe with what you want to do with your cleaning business. Is making sense? If I don't see your comments, I will see them after. I will see them after. April, I've struggled with this. Yeah. No, a lot of... Hi, Dustin, how are you? Thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. April, I see April. I love it. Jace Bond is my husband. He loves vacations. QB is a pain in the ass. What's QB? Do you mean quality control? Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. Tammy's stuck in the 90s. Stop it. Oh my God, Tammy. You're killing me. You're killing me. All right, let's move on to 5. Silent killer number 5. You can't make decisions and execute. You can't do it. You're stuck. You're stuck in analysis paralysis. I know some of you are because I work with some of you. You know the pattern. You have an opportunity. You think about it for weeks. You research endlessly. You ask everyone's opinion. You wait for the right time, right? And while you're waiting, the opportunity evaporates and your competitor seizes it. Bye-bye. Couldn't make a decision that fast, right? Or even worse, when you finally decide, you get scared and you don't follow through, right? You start strong. You hit a challenge. You start to doubt yourself, right? Because you have no one to bounce it off of and no one to talk to because you're trying to make decisions yourself, right? And you abandon ship. So forget it. Your business becomes a graveyard of half executed ideas. Nothing is worse than a business with half executed ideas, right? So this indecision is not caution. And I'm going to say this word, it's cowardice. It's the coward way out, right? And it's expensive. And why does this kill you? Because every day you delay a necessary decision in your business is the day that you bleed an opportunity. You could potentially bleed money, momentum, and morale because it just puts you in the dumps, right? Your team watches and loses confidence in you. That's probably the worst thing, right? And your clients, could potentially sense an uncertainty and lose trust in your company. So analysis paralysis is a killer. I don't know which one's worse. Thinking you know it all or analysis or not being able to make a decision, right? Totally. So, example, not firing a toxic employee, right? This is an example. You let it go. Don't fire them and keep them around because you need the help, right? So that disgruntled employee now becomes a cancer in your business. It's like one bad strawberry slowly starts to turn the other good strawberries moldy, right? One by one. And before you know it, you're hiring 3 new people. Whereas if you got rid of that one person right away, you could have preserved the 2 other good strawberries, right? So how do you fix that? Adopt an 80-20 rule. You don't need perfect information to make decisions, okay? This is where people get stuck. They think it's got to be so perfect and they wait forever. 80-20. If you have 80% of the information that you need, make that decision, right? Waiting for 100% means the opportunity is gone. Nobody needs 100%. You need 80% of that information. Make the decision, right? So set decision deadlines. Small decisions, 24 hours. Medium decisions, 3 days. Major decisions, 1 week, right? 24 hours, 3 days, 1 week. Those are your 3 pillars of making those decisions, right? And make reversible decisions, ones that you can fix quick, right? If you screw up, make them quickly, right? Most decisions are reversible. You can change things, right? If you can undo it, decide fast and adjust if you need to. Get used to moving fast with these things, right? Moving fast. So, I know, let me see. I don't know if I can look at all these live. Jay might have to put another monitor in front of me. So, let's talk about the choices that will define your 2026. So we know the 5, we know the silent killers. Thinking you know it all, number 1. When learning stops, dying begins. Knowing your numbers, right? You can't manage what you don't know. Having no systems, very expensive, very exhausting. Not knowing how to manage people. Your team is your business, and you need to learn how to manage them well. Unable to make decisions and execute. Indecision is a decision to fail. So these things are potentially already in your business. The question isn't whether you have them, it's how much damage they've done so far and if you can fix them, right? Can you fix them? Who here believes they can fix their problems in their business? I believe I can fix every problem in my business, right? Dustin, do you believe you can fix every problem in your business? Tammy, do you think you can fix every problem in your business? April, do you think you can fix every problem in your business? Belinda, do you think you can fix every problem in your business? Give me some answers. I want to hear from people. I want to hear from people, right? So, all of these are fixable. You can learn. You can implement systems. You can understand numbers. You can figure your numbers out. You can develop leadership. You can learn all of these. You can become decisive. And you can change your direction with a solid plan in place if you have the fortitude to do it, if you really want it, right? If you really want it. Will you be a business that thrives, or will you be a statistic that's failed? Remember, 87% of cleaning businesses fail within the first 5 years, right? Within the first 5 years. So your future self is either going to thank you or regret that you didn't act. But if this is resonating with you and some of you are thinking that you may want help, see what real help looks like, we should have a chat. I know Drop the Mop Owners is helping a lot of owners. Take a look at the video I posted yesterday of the Sisters Empire Builder Awards. We had 10 winners. You can take a look. Those are all real numbers. Why? Because I made them send their numbers to me. Those are all real numbers. We have some people growing pretty well, hitting the high 6 figures coming up in 2026. Those are all clients of mine. Those are all real. They worked their asses off. They learned how to do things that were hard, that scared them, and they did it, right? And they won, and they're all growing, and it's pretty cool. I post a lot of testimonials in this group because I like to share everyone's wins. I like to share everyone's small wins. I like to share everyone's big wins, right? Owners that are going from 8K to 30K is normal, right? Normal in 6 months, 8 months time. That's normal in the Drop the Mop, right? Like Victoria, like Leah, like Gloria, like Andrea, right? Like Janet, like Kelly, the whole bunch of them. They took control of their staff and their management and their delegation. You can have it all. You just got to be willing to work for it. And that second part of that sentence is the only thing that matters. You have to be willing to work for it, right? The ones who get the best results are the ones who show up for themselves, who don't think they know it all, who are open and receptive to learning. They do the work, even though they may not understand it at the moment. They stay the course, because there's no easy fixes in business or in life either, right? Is this making sense? Let me see if I can answer some of these, if I can see some of these. Let me see. Yes, I can. Jessica's killing it down there in Sarasota. Jessica, so Jay used to live in Sarasota. If you're still on, Jay, Jessica is from Sarasota. We have to go visit her. She cleans all units in Siesta Key and everything. Yeah. We can fix it, but change is scary. No doubt, Shauna. Change is scary, right? Change is scary. But you went and bought a residential cleaning business, so you're not afraid to change, right? You can still make a decision and still be afraid at the same time. That's actually healthy. Heather, yes, big mistake. Yeah. QuickBooks. Oh, QuickBooks. Got it. I didn't know what you meant at first. QB, QuickBooks. Yeah. QB, quarterback. The quarterback. SRQ, nice. Yeah, Jessica cleans in Sarasota, in Siesta Key, Longboat Key, all that stuff, but doesn't do any Airbnbs because it's torturous down there. She does all residential. Belinda, hard rock and scary times. So exciting for what's coming. Belinda's going to be my next guest on the Maids Who Made It podcast. Yes, indeed. Coming up probably end of April, we're going to record. I'm pretty psyched about that because not that many of you know this, but Belinda is a powerlifting champion, and that's right in my wheelhouse of being a gym girl. So we're going to talk about the relevance of lifting weights and being in the gym, and the similarities in building a cleaning business. It's going to be really great. It's going to be a really great topic. MOPS, muscles and mindset. That's what it's called. Yep. So look for that soon. Shauna, I'm still figuring out residentials, and now we have checklists, so that's my win for the week. No, that's great. That's great. You try and get one win a week, Shauna, in your business, right? Just one. All you want is one step forward, right? Don't take on too much. You just had a baby not too long ago. Don't take on too much. Just one win. Work. No, I know what you mean, Belinda. I know what you mean. All right, everyone. I hope this was helpful. I like to expose what's exactly wrong so you can fix it. I don't mean any disrespect or ill will when I teach or when I train. I want to show you all the bottom, right? I want to show you ground zero. Because if you're at ground zero, then you can take steps to fix ground zero and get off ground zero. That's how I think. I did rip the band-aid off. You'll hear me say that all the time. All that means is rip the band-aid off, see what's going on underneath the skin, right? Underneath the fluff, underneath the layers. See what you need to fix. It's okay, right? It's like being on a diet. I'm on a diet now. I signed up with a trainer. I'm down 8 pounds. Yay, in 4 weeks. It's like being on a diet and jumping on the scale for the first time. And you're like, oh, damn it, that number, right? Sucky. Rip the band-aid off. You're not going to know what it is unless you jump on the scale, right? Then you jump on the scale, then you say, okay, I have work to do. I want to lose this amount in this amount of time. What do I need to do? Then you start doing all the caloric, deficit stuff and everything else, right? So now you have a playbook in front of you. That's what I aim to do with, helping you with your cleaning businesses is ripping the band-aid off, seeing what's going on underneath the hood, and working on to fix it. Right? That's it. That is it. All right, everyone. I hope this was helpful. Podcast in a couple weeks. I'm going to try and do a podcast a month. One podcast a month I'm going to try and do. One podcast a month. I need to duplicate myself so I can get everything done I want to get done and support you 1,000%, because that is my goal. Way to go. I know I'm excited, Belinda. 8 pounds in 4 weeks, right? That's pretty good. Of course, it's going to slow down now. It's going to slow down now. But anyways, yes. I'm excited to do that podcast with you because I am a firm believer in where my discipline came from is when I was a competitive bodybuilder. I was a competitive fitness competitor in my 20s, learning how to grind and be disciplined, and just crazy amount of discipline you need to diet for that stuff, and train and just be relentless. And so when things get rocky or I got to fix something in my business, whatever, I just dive in deep and I kind of channel back into my gym days, and that's what helps me. So I'm sure that it helps you. So multitasking is not for me, and typing. Jessica, thank you. I'll see you in class. Jessica's in Drop the Mop. Drop the Mop. So is Belinda. So is April. So is Tammy. So is Shauna. Yes, ladies. All right. Have an amazing evening. I will see everyone that's in Drop the Mop group program tomorrow night, 5 p.m. If you don't have any homework to me, get me your homework. And I will see you all soon. All right. Bye.